Okay, this time the fucking mic is on. Holy shit. I just did 20 minutes of nothing. Nothing. Oh, the life of a fucking YouTuber, I guess. I don't know what them. All right, well, here we are, take two. Thank you all for jumping on. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to the show, like it, share it, subscribe to it. Let me know in the comments what you think. So far, there's been some people with suggestions. We'll get into that as I respond to another YouTube comment. And we're going to get into the Tyler Robinson trial. We're going to do some Ro Khanna, some Jaylen Brown. We're going to talk a little Brock Purdy. We're gonna do some shit today. So, but as always, go to the old sponsors. Old Glory. Head over there, enter the promo code STRETCH at checkout to get your discount on all your gear, your hats, your shirts, your socks. They have 300,000 items from music to TV to entertainment to all those good things. Great company to work with. Quick shipping, really responsive in their customer service area. So head over there and support them. Ultimately, in turn, support me. Things like that. And this is the final episode of support from Aspire Drinks. Yes, sir. This is it. It's the end of an era, and we'll incorporate that into our theme in the beginning. Last week to get it, head over to aspiredrinks.com, enter the promo code STRETCH to get your discount on all your drinks. It's keto friendly, diabetic friendly, gluten free. Lots of caffeine through some guarana tea extracts and things like that. Some decent flavors. They've been quite the friend for the last 3 or 4 months, but as all good things, they must come to an end. So hurry, because on Friday it is over. Final day. Check them out, aspiredrinks.com. The links will be in the description as per usual. So let's get into this. Not a whole lot of visuals, but a lot of sound bites today. And I think that's the way I think that's how I feel we're going to do it, because their voice should be enough for all the good stuff here. So I'm going to play what I said yesterday and get into what the response was. I'm 46 years old, right? And my childhood is disappearing. And I've talked about this a lot. And I see these reports and I read these things, and they just really kind of get me, Because you grow up watching these guys in politics, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. You watch these guys, growing up, and even Joe Biden, John McCain. You're watching them grow up. You watch them growing up. You watch these battles, in Congress, and some of them become president. Barack Obama was one, Bill Clinton was another, and you just watch these guys. You're just like, my goodness, this is who I remember. And then, as you get older, they slowly pass on. They slowly go, into the great beyond. And a little bit of you goes with it. A little bit of you goes with it. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but to me, it's like history just fading off, It's very humbling, like you grow up watching, in entertainment, you grow up watching Don Rickles, and you grow up watching all the hits, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, things like that, Carl Weathers, and you George Carlin. You go down this list, and you're just like, even Clint Eastwood, who just retired. He's in his mid 90s at this point. You grow up watching these guys, whether they're stand-up comedian, actor, doing some voiceover work. You're watching these guys, and news reports just start coming out one after another. They just start dropping. And you just go, wow, that is like an entire era I'm never going to see again. And you just get sad. I'm so that's just, that's basically what happened. And what I was saying was essentially true. You grow up watching all this history throughout your childhood into your 20s and stuff. And then as you get older, you start to see the end of the road for yourself and for your era and your life, and what you start thinking about the things you need to do at the back end of your life, and you reflect on things and mistakes you've made, all this type of stuff, right? And those of you that don't, you're just young and you haven't gotten there yet, and that's okay. But that was all it was, right? So TJ Ralston says this. He said, "Oh, your childhood disappeared 30 fucking years ago? Grow up." Now, TJ's got to be a fucking teenager, right? Even if he's in his 50s or even if he's in his 70s, I got to say, buddy, if you can't reflect and you still can't bring yourself to this realization, you're a sad individual. You really are. You really are. You're a terrible human being. You're that dude on the lawn just yelling out there, "Get off my fucking lawn." You're on your porch throwing shit. You're that guy. You can't sit there and reminisce on, "Oh my gosh, what happened back then? Times have gone by." You can't sit there and go, a little piece of you just going with it. One after one moment of your childhood is gone, another moment takes away. You don't have that? You're a sad motherfucker. You really are, TJ. And I'm sorry, but I am 46 and I am a grown up. I really am. I got kids. I've got a wife. I pay some bills. I have a career. I'm normal, but I can still sit on the couch on occasion and have an emotional response to what is the reality of life. And I'm sharing my vulnerabilities, and you're telling me to grow the fuck up. Sir, go fuck yourself. Simple as that. Let's move on, because there's another one that I need to say, in all honesty, needs to be addressed. And that's this Tyler Robinson thing. And I gotta say, in the beginning, with Erika, Kirk, and TPUSA and all these things that happened, I 100% sympathize, empathize, all of that, because I've been in her shoes. I've had to deal with the loss of a spouse. Now, mine didn't get shot in the head. Mine died of a disease. And I know what it's like to go through that and to tell your kids that to tell your kids that they're not going to see them again. That entire thing, I get it. I've been there. But what I don't sympathize with, and what I don't have compassion for, is Erika Kirk's inability to defend herself, or her friends for that matter, not coming in and handling business. That I have a problem with. Now, this Tyler Robinson thing, obviously, which I find kind of interesting, that everybody is already assuming he's guilty. Evidence is evidence. It gets disputed. It's not about that. It's about convincing a jury. Now, who's tainting the jury? Candace Owens, obviously, sure. But isn't everybody else? Don Jr., Graham Allen, his wife Alyssa. Aren't we all tainting the jury here? Aren't we all sitting there claiming he's a murderer without a conviction? Now, if we had flipped the script and done this on the other side of things, then wouldn't those same people be calling about destroying the Constitution and faith in the courts and stuff? I feel like they would. But they're sitting here doing completely they're doing the utmost Opposite of that. And I have an issue with that. If you're going to sit there and say that he's got his constitutional right to defend himself, then let him defend himself. Then you could talk all the shit you want if he gets convicted. If he brokers a plea deal and pleads guilty, then you could talk your shit. But to do it during the preliminaries and during the trial, which I know a lot of you will, I mean, how are we going to get any kind of conviction? If anything, your guys are all going to force this thing to get thrown out. I would say shut the fuck up and let the system do its job and not comment on shit. Graham Allen shouldn't have 5 fucking episodes about the Tyler Robinson trial. He should probably just let it go. But he's not. Dan Bongino, same thing. The Trump family, same thing. Let the process play out. Why try to corrupt it? Because that's exactly what you're doing. Let Candace do that. Let In Carroll do that. Let Dave Smith do that. Let those fucking dorks do that. Let them do that. That way, the blame could go in one direction. Right now, what all of you are doing, the blame is everywhere. But, to say the least, for the last 10 months, I got to say, Candace Owens, well, I think it's probably more like 11 months at this point. No, it's only been 300 days. So it's about 11 months. Candace Owens has been filling up that grassy knoll. It's shoulder to shoulder at this point. We've got Egyptian planes. We've got maroon shirts. We've got the Israeli government. Ben Shapiro apparently pulled the trigger now. This isn't Tyler Robinson. He's too short. There's no way that gun got dismantled that quickly. The bullet should have blown his head off, etc., etc. All over the place. And then she goes on Sean Ryan and she says, well, he probably wasn't even there. And then the preliminary hearing, they're presenting this evidence of him apparently being there, his car, him wandering around, him walking around kind of stiff on one side. And I agree, it depends on how you take the gun apart. But he apparently was there visually. Same hat, same shirt, same clothes. When he got picked up or turned himself in, however you want to phrase it. I mean, it's right. It kind of refutes some of her shit, but she's still going, right? She hasn't stopped. She won't stop. And it exposes a big old series on Erika Kirk, human trafficking, all this other weird shit. But at the end of the day, this stuff should not be. There should not be a crusade of Graham Allen, a crusade of Ben Shapiro, or Dan Bongino, or anybody else associated with TPUSA, whether directly or indirectly. These people should not be defending Erika Kirk to the degree that they are. It should be TPUSA. It should be Erika Kirk herself. Now, if it was me, this bullshit wouldn't have lasted 2 weeks. If I had the resources of TPUSA, the financials of this whole thing, I would have sued her into the ground in the first 2 weeks. The second she called me a murderer, the second she sat there and put out an entire podcast series calling me a human trafficker, 100%, I would have dragged her ass into court and buried her in paper to the point where she would have had to write me a gigantic check, and it would have been so big that not even her fucking husband could have bailed her out. Absolutely, I would have done it. And I would have put her in that fucking vice for as long as I possibly could. Because for one, you don't fucking bullshit me. 2, you don't try to take down my company. And 3, you don't treat my kids that way. This becomes a fist fight immediately. But they all want to honor the legacy of Charlie Kirk by not intervening, hoping she fucking goes away. This bitch ain't going away. She's not going to leave this cash cow because she's got 20 to 30 million fucking dorks in and out of her fucking feed just listening to her bullshit. And then she's got such a good ball rolling here. Even Sean Ryan's buying into the bullshit. Megyn Kelly's bought it. Tucker Carlson has already swallowed the pill. She is infecting people at this point. If you wanted it to stop, Erika Kirk, this is where I have zero sympathy for you. You should have done so immediately, but you chose not to. Now you're dealing with a gigantic pain in the ass. And I wouldn't have cared because you're protecting your family, you're protecting the legacy of Charlie Kirk, your husband, you're protecting the business TPUSA from this ridiculous amount of scrutiny, going all the way to some fucking idiot called Brooklyn Dad trying to find with some dumb bitch with like less than 20 followers trying to find out if there's a TPUSA chapter at certain schools. It's getting ridiculous at this point is what I'm getting at. You should have attacked this earlier. You should have set it down and buried it before it got off the ground. But it didn't happen, and that's okay. But we can all clean this up now. Maybe after the preliminaries, when whatever evidence is presented, maybe you sue her at that point. Maybe. But until then, I mean, you got to get your ducks in a row. You're going to be in for a fight, and you need to be ready. If that's all I'm saying. Some of you are going to listen to this and go, "What an asshole!" And all I can say is, "Yes, I am," because this is the type of talk that Erika should hear, and she's not getting it. She's not getting it from Andrew Colvett. She's not getting it from Graham Allen. She's not getting it from Dan Bongino. They're all sitting there going, grieving widow. It's like, you know what? You can be a grieving widow, but you got shit to do. You got shit to do. You got somebody tearing down your business, tearing down your family name, ripping your husband's legacy apart. You need to handle business, Erika Kirk. Don't let Ben Shapiro do it for you. You do it. That's the point. Tired of this shit already with this fucking retarded Candace Owens and her stupid bullshit already. This is getting ridiculous. On to Ro Khanna. Apparently, Ro Khanna went to the West Bank. Apparently, this dum-dum went there with a delegation, and he got detained. Because we all know you go to the West Bank, it's not a good place to be. So some locals detained him. The IDF came down. And then, from what I can tell, they were released a little bit later. And Ro Khanna has been on a press tour ever since. You know? And I'm going to play a couple of bits of Ro here. And I just got it. Just listen to this shit.
The IDF is lying. What happened was unprecedented. They had violent settlers detain American citizens, including an American government official. You had these settlers brandishing M4s, kicking the tires of our van, laughing at us, mocking at us, videotaping us. We were detained for about 20 minutes, fearful of our lives. Then the IDF comes, 4 soldiers. They tell our translator that they're on the side of the settlers. They further detain us and block us in. We had to call the American embassy. Fortunately, David Brownstein helped, and he got to someone in Israel. And 75 minutes after the detention by the IDF soldiers and by these settlers, we were let through. Now, I heard the prime minister, and he says that Israel is a country of law and order. Well, let me be very specific. The prime minister needs to open an investigation on these violent settlers who are connected to Yanon Levy, who has destroyed Zanuta's village and is a known person who has killed Palestinians, and these settlers were connected to him. They need to be prosecuted, including Yanon Levy. Their outpost needs to be investigated, and he needs to have an investigation on these 4 IDF officers. Security cameras can see that they were involved in the detention of American citizens. How dare they mistreat people with an American passport that way?
Yes, how dare they do their job? The fuck is wrong with this idiot? First off, why are you even there? To do what exactly? You know, like why? Why are you even bothering to go there? And then you go into a place that's you're going to a place that's considered a closed military zone. I'm just trying to understand the point of whatever the fuck it is you were doing. There's been some dispute back and forth as to like whether or not he was approved to be there or some dumb shit. But according to Emily Schrader, a reporter here, she says that they were halted because they entered a CMZ, a closed military zone, which is prohibited for safety reasons for civilians. And I don't care if you're a government official or not. When you enter Israel, you are a civilian. I'm sorry. That's just how I look at it. If you all disagree, by all means, let me know. Police were called in to discuss the problem with the tour organizer who had repeatedly attempted to enter the closed zone in the past. The bus has to wait until the arrival of the officers to the scene, which is what caused the delay. It was not a detainment, and no one was arrested. Police stated that they have already reviewed the body cam footage of the police at the scene, confirming the account. The tour participants were also briefed, and then they continued on their way. So I don't know. Now he says IDF. This lady says police, which I'm assuming is still the IDF. This whole thing is been all over the place because everybody's got a different story or a different account. And of course, BB claims that there's some militants out there that are causing trouble too, so it could be any of the above. And Rokan with this whole how dare they, it's like, dude, you are retarded. You just are. You just are. There's no reason for you to fucking be there. There just isn't. And of course, let's hear some more of Rokana's silliness.
I saw the arrogance in the eyes of those settlers, 21 and 22-year-olds with guns, laughing that they had detained us. The arrogance of those young IDF soldiers that my tax dollars are funding, having no respect for the fact that they were detaining Americans, no respect that there was an American congressperson in that bus, and laughing when our translator told them that there are Americans there and the American embassy is concerned. It is the arrogance of power, of a power that has had no accountability, total impunity, and has created a...
All right, so apparently, how dare they, how dare they, how dare they, how dare they. I'm sorry. Again, this is all my opinion. This is how I view this shit. You are an American citizen going into a foreign country. At some point, you're going to have to understand that they have their own rule book that they will follow. Yes, the settlers were trying to police that area on their own, it looked like, and they were doing what they felt was their job and their duty to their country. You have to somewhat understand that. And what's even crazier is he's making it sound like he was fucking sitting in a jail cell with a straitjacket. He sat on the side of the road for 70 minutes. That's 1 hour and 10 minutes last time I checked. And then he was allowed to go about his business after being cleared. It's like going to a checkpoint on a military base or a checkpoint in any kind of airport anywhere around the world that's not the U.S. You have to submit your documents. You have to go through the bullshit, and then you go along your way. But for him to sit there and go, oh, the disrespect, the way they treated us, this was bullshit. Dude, shut your fucking hole, dude. Ro Khanna, shut up. I'm still waiting for you to read accurate names of the Epstein files. You still haven't done that. Neither has Thomas Massey. You have done nothing but just fucking... all you did was fund a Grand Platinum rally, and it blew up in your face. Now you're over here trying to make hay out of nothing. It's like Tucker Carlson on the tarmac in Israel, laughing it up and talking about how he was in fear of his life. Stop with the bullshit. Stop with the quote-unquote gaslighting. Shut your fucking mouth and go be a senator in California. Please. Enough of this nonsense. It's really retarded. It just is. Now, here's something that I found. Let me get a little sportsy for a second. Jaylen Brown. Everybody keeps talking. He had because of his internship offer to NASA. Everybody talks about how he's got the highest IQ of IQs in basketball world or whatever the fuck. He's on Bloomberg Newsmakers here, and listen to this shit.
Players should be able to invest alongside in ownership groups and business opportunities Like, I don't understand why that's ever been a thing. But it's like you're an athlete, and they make it seem like, they can control how much wealth or growth that you could actually accumulate. I think that's wrong. I also think that just like any other major corporation, like if you work for Apple, or if you work for Nike, or if you work for anywhere, like if you're a CEO, if you're someone that's been on a board for a large amount of time, you get equity in the company at some point. Like, you are a part of it. And I think athletes should be looked at in the same way. Like, you play for the Celtics for 20 years, like you should get a piece of equity because you helped accumulate the growth, and that's the part that gets lost in translation, is the growth from an organization, a growth from a company or a corporation, the sweat equity that you put in. You get compensated just like for doing your job, but you don't get compensated for the growth. And in major corporations and companies, you do, or at least some of the big ones,
What? What? What the fuck is this idiot talking about? I'm sorry. He's an idiot. He's a straight retard. He's asking for stock options on a basketball team. Oh, this is not a corporation. This is a basketball team. You're saying that they should be the same? Dude, ownership groups assume all the fucking risk of the basketball team or the football team or whatever it is in sports. Okay? They sell tickets to put butts in seats, right? This is all the stuff for them. You get, no matter how bad you are, no matter how bad your fucking performance is, from one game to the next or 1 year to the next, you get a guaranteed 100% contract no matter fucking what. If you become a pain in the ass after you sign a 5-year, $300 million deal, you get paid all $300 million. Okay? If the owner of the team, if the team does poorly, he ends up selling or he ends up losing money in general. And you don't lose a fucking dime. And you can't compare a sports team to Apple. It's not the same. It's not the same. Because, number one, the lifespan of an athlete is 0, almost. For the most part, what is it, 5 years? 6 years max is the average lifespan of an NBA player. 4 years for a football player. You want us to give you stock options for a short-term investment? You're out of your fucking mind. I'm talking like I'm an owner. Me? No, you're ridiculous. Who plays for 20 years? How many play for 20 years for one team? Kobe, maybe, but not LeBron. Michael Jordan, maybe, but not entirely. He spent a few years in Washington. What are you talking about? There's very few of them. Dirk Nowitzki, maybe. He did almost a 20-piece with Dallas. Maybe, but it's few and far between. And you can't equate that to equity stake in the company, or even if it was even if this basketball team was considered a company or an organization, LLC, whatever. They're not going to give that to you when you aren't even around that long. The fuck is wrong with people today? This fucking retarded shit. I'm sorry. This is just stupid shit right here. Let's keep this going. We're going to get into this. This is a video. This is a sound bite that I thought was absolutely hilarious, to be honest. Here we go.
You can't just buy the door handle. You have to buy the entire door panel.
They are literally building these cars so that you throw them away when they break. Literally, just throw them away when they break. Don't replace it. Don't fix it. Just throw it away. So I'm installing a camera system, and I messed up. Somehow I got myself locked. So basically the door was shut. I pulled on it really hard. Door opens. But as you can tell, I broke this. Just a little plastic piece, I broke it. No biggie, no biggie. I'll look online. Can't find it. I understand it's a newer car. This is 23. It's called the dealer. So the guy on the phone was like, he spent like 10 minutes. He actually had to call me back. Calls me back and says, actually, we can't just get the door handle. I'm like, what do you mean you can't just get the door handle? You have to order the entire door panel. He even said it comes with a new window switch. And then I realized, because I took the dang thing back off, he's not kidding. They've molded the plastic around it. You cannot get this off. You cannot get that out. I get, like, this should never break, right? But how many times have you placed a window switch in a car? It gets wet with water. What are you going to tell me I need a whole new door panel? It's only a cool $525.
Just like how Apple has soldered all of the components together so that if you try to repair the iPhone, you break all the parts inside, that's what car manufacturers are now doing. Just like televisions, washing machines, vacuum cleaners, there used to be repairmen and businesses that used to exist for things.
No shit. This is the biggest Captain Obvious of all fucking time. I mean, yeah. Companies used to there was this business model where they had a thing they made, and then they had parts made for it, and then they had repair guys, and then all of a sudden there was the under the table repair guy, and then the guy around the corner that learned how to fix it was selling his bullshit and on and on and on, and he had parts departments and blah blah blah. And then they were like, wait a second, this is way too much money we're losing. What if we shrank it to just us? They can only deal with us. Can you imagine the billions of dollars we'll make? That's a fantastic idea. Let's do it to cars, computers, phones, washers and dryers, television sets, all that shit. And you know what's even better? Is if they don't want to pay to fix it, they'll throw it away. Where are they going to get the new one? Us. That is the beauty of capitalism. Get rid of the middleman to take all the money to you. No shit. It seems pretty obvious to me that this was going to eventually happen. It really did. I mean, everybody's mad now. All of a sudden, you're mad about it. This was the inevitable of business in America. There's no There's no other way to say this. This was just something that was going to happen. It was going to happen. Yes, they don't want you to do it. They want you to pay to do it. That's no shit. How many people saw this bullshit? 700,000 people saw this bullshit. And 1,000 people were like, yeah, this is some bullshit. 7,000 people decided to repost this and comment. No way. It's like what I did. It's like what I did. I did an episode. It's in the archive. It's where there was a giant buildup of Graham Allen talking about, oh my gosh, I got a secret. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And he's like, everybody's it's a racket. It's all rigged. Everybody sucks. No. No way. I never fucking knew. What a mystery to me. Oh, fuck. No. Oh, my God. Stupid fucking shit, I tell you. Oh, Jesus. All right. We have a list here, kids. And I got a problem with it. I really do. So, let's get into this list. I don't know if you guys can see that, but apparently the top 10 quarterbacks ranked by coaches, executives, and scouts came out. And here's the list. Josh Allen, number 1. Patrick Mahomes, number 2. Matthew Stafford, 3. Joe Burrow, 4. Lamar, 5. Dak Prescott, 6. Justin Herbert is 7. Drake May is 8. Jared Goff is 9. Caleb is 10. Caleb Williams. Honorable mention, Brock Purdy. Now, this guy continues to be left off the lists of a lot of things. He continues to not get recognized for some odd reason. So let me just kind of just go through this list real quick. Okay. Who's been to a Super Bowl? Let's do this. Josh Allen? No. Mahomes, yes. Stafford, yes. Burrow, yes. Lamar Jackson, no. Prescott, no. Justin, no. Drake, yes. Jared, no. And Caleb Williams, no. Who's been to the Super Bowl? Brock Purdy. Win or lose, Brock Purdy has actually taken a team there. He's been a part of a run. He's almost gotten him to 2 if you don't get hurt in the NFC Championship game in the first 2 plays of the game, but against the Eagles. But think about that. How is he not gaining any traction in the media or even just amongst NFL fans, right? Or just NFL circles? Josh Allen, I mean, great arm talent, but by God, I don't trust him to win a fucking game when it matters. Who else on this list? Lamar Jackson, look, another fantastic quarterback. He'll get you 10, 12 games a year if he's healthy. But playoffs, no. Can't trust him. He doesn't come through. Dak Prescott can't get out of the wild card round, even if he gets there, which has only been twice in his entire career. How is he better than Brock Purdy when Brock Purdy in one versus, if you go quarterback to quarterback, Brock Purdy has beaten Dallas quite a bit with Dak under center. Justin, no. Not even close. He's never, not once has this fucking dude ever shown anything worth notable. Okay? I don't even care about his stats. Drake May, he got to the Super Bowl. All right. I'll give him his flowers. He got him there. Then he got his ass kicked. Took a beating. Jared Goff? No. He's Dan Marino. He'll throw for 500,000 yards, but he ain't taking you anywhere. Kind of like, just kind of like Dan Marino. Just he ain't going nowhere. Caleb Williams? No. Fuck no. No. So I could just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even Drake. Well, no, 5. 5 guys can come off this list in a heartbeat. If I had to reorder this shit, it would probably be Mahomes because he's got a few of those Super Bowl wins. Stafford's got a win, so he's 2. Burrow and Jackson. Jackson's off. Burrow and May would be there because they've been there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would put Brock Purdy would be 4. Drake May would be 5. That's what I would do. And then if you look at the rest of this group, man, I would say Lamar Jackson would probably be 6, Josh Allen 7, Herbert's 8, Goff and Caleb 9, 10. Dak Prescott wouldn't even make this fucking list, to be honest. If it were me, he wouldn't even make this list. But that's just me. You guys let me know. What do you think? I don't know. That's just how I look at it. That's how I fucking see it. I just don't. All right, kids. That is it. That is the episode. That's everything. That's all I got. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for visiting. Appreciate each and every one of you. See you on the next one.